Formula One fans, something absolutely incredible is happening. The Spanish press has launched a full-scale attack on Ferrari with an explosive theory. Hamilton out, Sainz back to Maranello. After John Elkann's shocking declarations publicly attacking the drivers, multiple journalists are now picking sides and pointing fingers directly at the Hamilton-Leclerc partnership. But is there really a possibility Carlos could return to red? And most importantly, who's actually right in this media war? Stay with us because this story is absolutely insane. In recent days, we've seen various media outlets taking sides against John Elkann's declarations, while the Spanish press has initiated a genuine assault on Ferrari. And we're not just talking about the car this time. The target is crystal clear: the Hamilton-Leclerc driver pairing. According to several Iberian journalists, the real cause of Maranello's problems is precisely this duo that isn't working. The accusations arrive straight from Madrid, particularly from the newspaper Marca, with journalist Carlos Miquel's byline, someone who's never spared criticism of the prancing horse. The article speaks clearly and uses heavy words. All world champions who arrived at Ferrari, from Alonso to Vettel to Hamilton, never managed to win again. A phrase that sounds almost like a curse, like whoever enters Maranello stops winning. But it doesn't end there. Miquel doubles down, describing the SF25 as a disastrous car, and pointing fingers at the fact that the Hamilton-Leclerc combination isn't functioning. The reason, according to the Spanish press? The seven-time world champion supposedly doesn't have the same sensitivity as Carlos Sainz in development and car setup, and this would be slowing down even Leclerc's work. Basically, without Sainz, they're saying Ferrari lost its technical reference point. And here comes the real low blow. If Elkann is looking for a driver who doesn't complain and just concentrates on driving, Sainz is perfect. A crystal clear message, directed at Ferrari's president, almost a provocation. You sent away the only one who had found the right balance with Leclerc. It's no mystery that the internal situation at Maranello has become increasingly tense after Elkann's public declarations, where he invited drivers to talk less and drive more. And now, between the president's words and foreign press attacks, Ferrari finds itself in the middle of a media storm that absolutely doesn't help on-track work. Let's be clear, when a team like Ferrari gets put on trial not only for the car but for their driver pairing itself, it means something has genuinely gone wrong. Hamilton brings an enormous name, a history of success, and in my opinion, the truth isn't so much in the driver pairing being criticized by Spanish press, but more in the internal Maranello situation and car development Spain, which has an obvious connection with Sainz, continues needling the prancing horse. The Leclerc-Sainz pairing worked and shouldn't have been touched. These are their declarations. It's difficult imagining Carlos Sainz returning to Maranello, as Miquel himself admits, but the message remains strong. Perhaps Ferrari chose the wrong man at the wrong time. The real problem, though, is simple. Ferrari doesn't win because the SF25 isn't fast enough. Period. The drivers have nothing to do with it. The talking has nothing to do with it. If the car were at McLaren's level, Charles and Lewis would have been fully fighting for the world championship. And in fact, the numbers confirm this. In 2025, Ferrari hasn't yet won a single Grand Prix, with Leclerc stuck at 7 podiums and Hamilton at literally 0. The two occupy 5th and 6th positions in the standings, separated by 92 points, while Red Bull managed to snatch 3rd place in Constructors, leaving Ferrari chasing behind. Right now, they find themselves 4th. In short, results speak clearly. The team's potential hasn't translated into real speed on track. Everything exploded after the unfortunate but eloquent comparison John Elkann made between Formula One and WEC in Milan. Facing journalists, he recalled how Ferrari just won the World Endurance title, with 74 points advantage over Toyota, and the driver's title conquered by Giovinazzi, Pierre Guidi, and Collado. And then the dig at Formula One. We have exceptional mechanics, pit stops and engineers working hard, but the rest isn't up to standard. And finally, the phrase that ignited everything. Drivers need to talk less and concentrate on driving. Translated, the problem isn't just technical, but also about attitude. Except from that moment, various industry insiders started wondering if Ferrari's president wasn't looking for a scapegoat. But if the car were like McLaren, Hamilton and Leclerc would be fighting for the title. A phrase that perfectly photographs the situation. Ferrari doesn't lack talent, it lacks pure performance. The rest not up to standards cited by Elkann makes no sense if the problem's foundation is the car's speed, but he's not the only one who responded with sarcasm. Even Jenson Button commented on Elkann's phrase on social media, writing, "Maybe John should lead by example himself a low blow, but reflecting many people's thinking in the paddock." It's too easy asking drivers for silence when leadership itself doesn't seem to have a clear plan for returning to competitiveness. The general feeling is that John Elkann wanted to send an internal message of discipline and unity, citing the WEC example. When Ferrari is united, it wins. Certainly a united and winning Ferrari is needed, but the difference with the Endurance World Championship is that the car was simply stronger than competition. In Formula One, it's not, and if the foundation isn't solid, no team unity can suffice. The SF25 isn't fast enough, and until this changes, Leclerc and Hamilton can only defend themselves. Whether they talk little or much won't change anything. And we're seeing how the public has sided with Jenson Button. Indeed, on social media, comments multiplied. "Great Jenson, he's right. How can a president talk about his drivers like this in front of media? He's the one who should lead by example." The public sided almost entirely with Jenson Button, and the reason is clear. After years of unfulfilled promises, Ferrari continues losing, and many fans are tired of hearing proclamations from above instead of seeing results on track. The reality is harsh. Ferrari hasn't won a world title since 2008, when the constructors' triumph arrived with Raikkonen and Massa. And if we talk about drivers, we need to go back even further to 2007, again with Kimi Raikkonen. Since then, a sequence of direction changes, presidents, team principals, and now a new Hamilton-Leclerc pairing that was supposed to be the symbol of rebirth. But today seems like just another postponed promise. After Brazil, Ferrari actually dropped to 4th place in constructors, overtaken by Red Bull. And the truth is, behind Elkann's words hides growing tension. A frustrated president, 2 drivers under pressure, and an environment that hasn't found stability for too long. We also know that Lewis Hamilton will remain at Ferrari at least until 2027. In fact, his contract is long-term, confirmed by Andrew Benson from BBC. Behind the paddock scenes, there was talk of a 2+1 contract, so 2 official years plus a renewal option for another year. The 2 years are 2025 and 2026, with an option to continue in 2027. However, today it seems Hamilton wants to do 3 years at Ferrari, so from 2025 through the end of 2027. This is why the Maranello situation must be resolved as soon as possible. Hamilton knows 2025 is only an intermediate step and that the real challenge will arrive in 2026. But a more relaxed climate is needed at Maranello before next year, otherwise new problems will present themselves, especially regarding team management. It's fundamental to develop a car that's up to competitors' standards, because ultimately that's what counts. Ferrari hasn't had a competitive car for far too many years now. So no, Hamilton won't leave and Sainz won't return. But Ferrari must wake up, must give their drivers a winning car, and must stop looking for scapegoats. This is the truth. The Spanish press campaign, while clearly motivated by national pride and Sainz's connection, actually highlights a deeper issue at Ferrari's inability to provide championship-winning machinery, regardless of who's driving Sainz, was excellent at Ferrari, consistently delivering strong results and even victories. But he also couldn't deliver a championship because the car wasn't consistently fast enough. The suggestion that Sainz's supposed superior development sensitivity is what Ferrari's missing is frankly absurd when you consider Hamilton's track record. Lewis has been instrumental in car development at Mercedes for years, helping build one of the most dominant eras in Formula One history. The idea he suddenly lost this ability is pure fiction. What's really happening is that Ferrari is struggling with fundamental technical and organizational issues that transcend driver choice. The SF25's problems stem from design philosophy decisions made long before Hamilton arrived. The front suspension overhaul, weight distribution changes, shortened gearbox. These were technical gambles that didn't pay off. Blaming drivers for engineering failures is the oldest trick in motorsport's book. It's easier than admitting the technical direction was wrong, that development resources were misallocated, that the team's organizational structure needs fundamental reform. The comparison Elkann made between WEC success and Formula One struggles actually proves the opposite point he intended. In endurance racing, Ferrari built a superior car and dominated. In Formula One, they haven't, and no amount of driver discipline will change that fundamental reality. What Ferrari truly needs isn't Sainz back or Hamilton out. They need technical leadership that can design and develop a consistently competitive car. They need organizational stability that allows long-term planning rather than constant crisis management. They need to stop the cycle of blame and focus on actually solving problems. The media circus, the finger-pointing, the public criticism, none of this helps Ferrari return to winning. It only creates more tension, more distraction, more instability in an organization that desperately needs the opposite. Until Ferrari addresses these core issues, changing drivers will accomplish nothing except restarting the same cycle with different names.